Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Shri Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. 17th and 18th verse. We'll see that today. Drigdrishyau dvau padarthau stah paraspara vilakshanau Drigbrahma drishyam ayeti sarva vedanta dindimah aham sakshi iti yo vidyad vivichyevam punah punah sa eva muktah sah vidwan iti vedanta dindimah. Drigdrishyau dvau padarthau stah. We spoke a little bit or we saw a little bit about Vedanta Dindimaha. Dindimaha means making that proclamation. So Vedanta is making a proclamation. What proclamation it is making? That all of this is Maya. What you're seeing is not the truth. The seer is the truth. What you're experiencing is not the truth. The one who is the experiencer. In fact, it goes a step even beyond. It says that one who is acknowledging the experiencer, the experience, and the experience, object of experience, these three, such a person who recognizes these three is free. This is what Vedanta is proclaiming. And why is this proclamation important? Is because Vedanta is presenting to us the reality or the truth, rather, the truth. And what we are experiencing is our own realities. Each of us, we have an experience of what is known as, what we recognize as the reality. And that is why our experience of life is so different. I experience life very differently. Somebody experiences in a very different way. Right? A cat came into my house, and the moment we saw a cat coming into the house, when I called up, I told people there's a cat that's come into the house. Everybody got worried and they wanted to drive the cat out. Adu pavam, it is moving gently only. But our intention is to send it out. Right? But if you're sitting in an ashram, cat comes, dog comes, peacock comes, monkey comes. In the ashram, you'll see they don't try to drive it away. Because if it comes in the way of whatever you need to do, whatever you're doing, you want to keep it away. Because it is going to hinder. But the way we respond to whatever happens is very different. Depending on how we are brought up, what our conditions are. If my daughter will see a cat, she will jump up. If she knows the cat has moved in that space, அந்த இடத்துல உட்காரவே மாட்டா. She'll not even sit there. So, but then Vedanta says that everything is one. When you see that it is, your perception of it is an illusion, right? So we have to integrate this knowledge. It is very difficult to integrate because our reflexes are so strong, right? See, a little gentle cat coming is fine. What if a snake comes into somebody's house? You can't say gently, right? You can't act gently. You have to act with haste. You have to act because you don't know where it is gone, and if you can't find it, it's a bigger problem. You'll never know whether it is in the house or it is gone out of the house. The snake enters the house, you can rest only when you've actually found the snake, caught the snake, and sent it out. You cannot assume the snake would have gone out. Right? The next day you're going to office, you're taking a tie and putting it around your neck. A tie color different. So a snake can be hanging there. But imagine our response to all that happens is based on our condition. I'm not saying right or wrong. And we all can't be like that, right? If a tiger walks, alligator in Bombay, one of the buildings, an alligator somehow came. My cousin's building. It's a high rise, and probably there is some forest reserve or something. Something somehow escaped, and an alligator came around that area, and they found the alligator in the building. So we don't know if we are living in their habitat or they are coming into our habitat, right? But our responses are very different. So our responses are driven by our condition. If you go to villages, if a snake comes, somebody will just pick up the snake and throw it. Right? People are so used to it. Then every day it comes, we throw it. It's like a normal thing because they live in that environment. So our condition drives our responses to whatever happens. Now the issue is not so much about these things. Because you're conditioned, if you have always been brought up in an urban setting, from childhood we've been brought up in an urban setting. Suddenly I say, oh, I want to go around, I want to walk Tirumala without footwear. Right? Even inside the house, this person is always wearing chappals, and he says, suddenly I want to go Tirumala without footwear. You will get blisters, right? Because your body is not used to it. Your body is not used to walking on rough surface. It's just not conditioned in that way, right? So we have to understand our responses to the world are based on our condition. Vedanta teaches to understand our conditions. Vedanta points out, or these teachings, this what is spirituality is to first understand our limitations. Once you understand the limitations of the mind, of the body, of my senses, of my desires, of my aspirations, these are all limiting faculties. These are limiting me in some way or the other. My physical condition limits me from doing certain things. I can do a few things, but I can't do all that I would want to. My physical condition limits me because I have not trained, I have not conditioned my body. So we recognize our condition, we recognize our limitations, but then we don't get limited by them. Okay. The important thing to note is psychologically, we don't get limited by our limitations because the limitations are at the level of the body, of the mind, of the senses, of your energies. The limitations are there. The individual that one is, you are not limited by any of these. These are limiting adjuncts. The problem is the identification with that causes the limitation on me. So I can say, yes, I am limited. Like, for example, Trailanga Swami was about 300 kilos in weight, 200, 200 plus kilos in weight. If you remember, those who had come to the Kashi Yatra, we went to his Samadhi, Trailanga Swami. He lived for many years. Many years he's lived. He spanned over a couple of centuries actually. When he died, his body was so big, huge body. He couldn't move it, but of course, he had done yogic practices and all. And then people would often say that, oh, I've spotted him walking on the Ganga. So even though his body was so heavy, he would still be spotted walking on the Ganga. So trained. himself in a particular way. So there are ways in which we can do that. Now, the point is not that do I need to go beyond these limitations? We need to go beyond these limitations to the extent that I am able to bring my mind into subservient to me. My mind, my aspirations, my desires, my hopes, my wants, all of these should be in my control. All of these my should be in my control, or it should be managed by me. The situation is they are managing me today. If I have a desire, it drives me crazy until I don't get it. So these things should be managed by me. Now, how do I get to a place where I manage them? This is what Vedanta is pointing out. It's saying that recognize first that those things that are there, which limit you, limit your freedom, limit your joy, limit your sense of completion. It makes you feel incomplete till I don't get that, till I don't do that, till I don't have that. That sense of incompletion that is continuously there, it is because I have identified with each one of that and I have put myself in a place where I am not able to manage it. It is managing me. So Vedanta is saying you observe it from a place of ownership, not from a place of, see, there is a difference whether you're the master or you're the slave. When I say it is my desire, I should be the owner of that desire. We end up becoming the slave of that desire. When I say these are my emotions, what happens? My emotions, I am always like that. We become the slave of that emotion. When I get angry, I go with anger. When I get sad, I go deep into sadness. When I'm joyful, I'm exaggerated in joy. So I let those emotions take me. So what is this proclamation Vedanta is saying? When you say it is my emotion, who's the owner here? I am the owner. Drigdrishyo dvau padarthau staha. I am the drik. What I see is the drishya. I am the owner. Whatever I have is mine. This is my hand, my legs, my body, my eyes. In the same way, my emotions, my thoughts, my desires. See, the hand starts moving around like this continuously without my control. I can't operate effectively. If I take a knife, I want to cut an apple, and the hand keeps moving like that, I won't be able to cut an apple. So, who now needs to own this apparatus called the hand? It is I. I am the master. The hand has to listen to me and it has to move in a particular direction, particular way, so that I get the desired outcome. In the same way with the mind, in the same way with my emotions, in the same way with my desires, in the same way with my aspirations. Who's the owner? Who's the drik? Drik means the one who sees, the one who owns, the one who is the master. This is something that we need to continuously remind ourselves. When the mind goes sad, you need to look at it. I am the master. Yes, it is going sad. I'm not fighting it. I'm going to observe. My mind is becoming sad. Now, point is, am I going to go along with it and go deeper and deeper and justify myself why I am sad? I must be sad at this time. I must feel sad. Why? See, this may happen to us. Sometimes when somebody close to us in our family, for example, has died, you don't feel sad. People will come and, and come and find it strange. And say, "Hey, why aren't you feeling sad? You're supposed to cry." You probably don't feel it that way. Does it mean you have stopped loving that person? We will start doubting. Ayyo, నిజం ఎంకట ఏదో ప్రச்சனை. No, you've come, if you've come to a place where you know what your emotion is and you're dealing with it with poise, with grace, then you are in a place of ownership, you are in a place of mastery. And this is what happens to masters. They've mastered fear also. So even if a snake comes, they've mastered, because they've mastered fear, they've mastered all the emotions, they've mastered fear, they're not afraid. They know, yes, they have to get up and move, but they'll not panic. See, there is a difference between panicking and taking the right action. Yes or no? A lot of times, what happens is we don't respond, we react based on our condition and we keep justifying it. See, if suppose something comes, a tiger walks here. Now, of course, we're not going to stand in front of the tiger and say selfie edukala and all that, right? It is stupid. We won't do that. But then, will you panic and run and shout and, oh, tiger has come, run here, there, create a chaos? No, tiger has come. What action needs to be taken? Let's stay away at a safe distance. Make sure doors are closed. Make sure you observe. Make sure you see if there are people around you. Inform people. This is the way to respond. The difference between response and reaction. When you react versus when you respond. This is that small window that you have. When an event happens, I can either react or I can respond. Reaction is instinctive. I get anger, I get fear, and I justify. See, the biggest problem in life is when you justify all our stupidities. Justification of your weaknesses is the greatest obstacle in spiritual sadhana. When you know that it is going to create an obstacle in what you're doing, if you're justifying it, greatest obstacle. We won't even know that obstacle because we are justifying it. I'm feeling sad. I must feel sad. I should feel sad now. It is right to feel sad. So I will continue to feel sad. If I'm feeling anger, hatred, I'm feeling jealousy, I should feel it. It is right to feel that way. I will continue to feel it that way. We put ourselves into that loop. When you continue to justify, saying that, yeah, it is justified that I am continue to feel that hatred of that person. Now, who is at loss? So, what he's saying here, Drigdrishyau dvau padarthau staha. The seer and seen are two distinct categories. Paraspara vilakshano, they are different from each other. Drig and drishya. So, what we spoke about now, when Drik Drishya, he is saying it is representative. He is saying seer and seen. The one who is the seer and the objects that are seen. And that is true of everything. Seer is not just the eyes seer, it means the perceiver and the perceived. The one, the experiencer and the experienced. The hearer and the heard. The taster and that which is being tasted. Right? So, in everything, there is a perceiver who can perceive, and there are objects you're perceiving. This includes not just the world on the outside, it also includes the world inside. Because the seer is not this body, eyes, nose, mouth. This is not the seer. The seer is within, who's seeing everything. If we get even a glimpse of that, we will know what it means to be God. Not God like the Vishwarupa Darshanam God with that omnipresent, omniscient, no, nothing like that. You will know for a moment that this is what it means to be that conscious principle. By God, I meant that conscious principle. This is what it means. If you get a glimpse of that, for a moment, you just go into that and just see everything is happening, including your body, your mind, your emotions, everything is part of that. See, now I'm holding everything here, right? My emotion, I am crying, my sadness, my happiness. I'm just holding it so close. I just move it like that. I create some space. This can happen only through sadhana. This cannot happen through just reading, talking, listening. It has to happen, it will happen through sadhana. The mind becomes soft and tender, and then it creates this space. It's all about creating the spaciousness inside, to know that there is a space within me from where I can, where I don't want to say where I can operate, where things operate, where it happens. Whatever needs to happen happens. Can you be in a place where you say, I am not doing these things, it's happening, but yet I am responsible? That is the place one needs to be in. I say that there are things that are happening. Bhagavat Sankalpam, it is all Bhagavan's action, but I am responsible. The problem where we fall into issues is, we say when I say I'm responsible, then we immediately identified. I am doing it, so I'm responsible. Or if we say everything Bhagavan is doing, then we wash ourselves of that responsibility. There's a sweet spot between these two spaces where I say everything is happening, things are happening, it is the divine intelligence, it is things are moving, but yet I am responsible because I'm in this body mind complex, I'm here, I will act. Then that action is guided action, it is intuitive action, it is aligned action, it is dharmic action, because you have not dropped responsibility, you have dropped owner, you have dropped identification. So when he says drigdrishyau dvau padarthau staha paraspara vilakshanau, they are different from each other. You need to know that you are here and those things are away from you. Experience that for a moment, he's saying. Experience that for a moment. For a moment, experience that space, that isolation, that aloneness, that solitude. Experience that solitude. Don't glorify it, don't make it flowery, don't write a poetry about it, don't sing a song from it, nothing. Just experience that silence within, to know that in truth that is what you are, that is what it is, that is what is operating here. And when you touch that, right, the humility that comes along with it will not let you do any of this flowery things also. A lot of times we fall into this trap. When I experience this silence and joy, or immediately I want to come out and I want to write a poem, I want to write a this thing, that thing, I want to tell 20 people. No, you've touched that silence, and you know, in the most humblest way, you know that, that That's what it is. I am this, that's all. What is there to tell? What is there to know? Kim Sadashiva Brahmendra wrote a beautiful um, Sarvam Brahmamayam Re Sarvam Brahmamayam Kim Pathaniyam Kim Apathaniyam Kim Bhajaniyam Kim Abhajaniyam. What is there to sing? What is there not to sing? What is there to talk? What is there to not talk? Kim Bhoktavyam Kim Abhoktavyam. What is there to enjoy? What is there not to enjoy? So it comes into a space where there's very little you can talk about. And that we need to touch. And we touch that space, and we can do that because this is the most intimate thing. This is the most intimate thing always available at all times. What we need is the motivation from outside to go inside. What we need on the outside is the motivation so that we can go inside. Because we are going outside. We want some of these things like the Upanishads, the Vedanta, the discourses, the bhajans, dhyana, shloka, all of that is to push, push, push so that we go inside and we see this distance. I am here, peaceful, settled. Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnaat Purnamudachyate. Right. So he's saying Drik Brahma Drishyam Maya. Iti Sarva Vedanta Dindimaha. So he's saying Drig is Brahman. The one that seer is Brahman. You touch that, which is what I told. You touch that, that is God. That's it. We will not run to temples to break 108 coconuts. We will still enjoy the presence of Bhagavan. We will still enjoy going to a temple. We will still enjoy doing puja. Don't get me wrong. But we will stop running behind it. We'll stop running behind or asking people, look at this, look at that Jatagam, look at that Shori, look at that, this thing, give me some mantra, give me them, nothing. You touch it. That is the most auspicious place to be in. And then from there, when you see Drik Brahma, Drik, the one who is seeing is Brahman, Bhagavan, he is God. From there, when you see Drishyam Maya, all that you see is Maya. Now, Maya, there's a whole discussion between Mayavad and all that. In very simple terms, Maya is not that this is an illusion. When you touch something, it is reality. It's all real. But it is not what you think it is. This is Maya. Illusion is not in the object. Illusion is in the perception. This is what it says. You can see something, you take a microscope, go down, you take an object. You take a bread, for example. You take a bread and you start going through the microscope. You will see atoms, molecules, electrons, protons, neutrons, quarks, quasars. All of these you will see. Will you see bread? So from that point, subatomic particle, from your quantum level, bread is Maya. It is just these things are put together. There is an illusion that there is all of these are together. None of that is together. From the point of view of the bread, all of these particles are Maya because you can't perceive it. It is appearing as like a solid substance there. So which is correct? Maya doesn't say that these things don't exist. Maya says it is not existing in the way you are perceiving it. Our perception is determined by our condition now. Again, correct? My eyes are conditioned to see only 7 colors. My ears can only listen to 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz. Anything above that, I can't hear. Anything lower than that, I can't hear. Any other color beyond the 7 colors, I can't see because my limitations of the eyes and the ears and the sense organs. So the drishyam, whatever I am seeing, is Maya. So recognize, of course, if 10 people together see the same thing in the same way, we say it is that. If I see blue, you see blue, and everybody, like 20 people in this room, everybody sees blue, then we'll say, yes, it is blue. But then you suddenly flash yellow light on the top, it will appear green. This is drishyam becomes Maya, means whatever you are perceiving, don't take it so seriously. This is the idea. Because it is everybody's perception. Now, this is about objects of the world. It is the same thing about relationship. Now, suppose today you have a friend. Now, is that friend of yours loved by everybody in their world, in the world? Or does that friend have people who don't like that person? You like that person, my closest friend, my heartmate, my soulmate, lancholi friend vechendro. Now, does everybody in the world see that person as a soulmate, heartmate? No, that person also has people who doesn't like them. Then you will wonder why. Perception. Their experience is different with that individual. Your experience is different. Your engagement is different. That person's engagement and experience is different. So the same individual, you look at, even go to masters, any guru, you go to any ashram. Guru is the same. Disciples will fight. Guru is that single person. All disciples should be exactly the same, right? Replica va. Then you take it a level further up. Krishna is one, but how many people are fighting in the name of Krishna? Jesus, Allah, Ram. Now, what is happening is your perception is based on your condition. This is what we need to know. So, we need to know that the world that I see is my world, not the world. This is very important. Please understand. Don't create a generic perception saying that normally this is the way the world is. No, this is not. You can never perceive the world. You only perceive your world and your experience of the world, and then you corroborate with other people. What we do is, we, like 50 people think like you, then we say, oh, the world is like that, right? See, today, for example, today we were watching a particular Vidi Bhajane in Tiruvallikeni, Triplicane, during the Margadi Masam morning. All Iyengar Mamas, superba, they will walk and they will do all the Prabandham, Pasurams, they will chant. For if you bring a Westerner and you play the Prabandham chants, and then you play the Quran chants from Quran, he doesn't understand either. But you will see that he will recognize some kind of similarities between the two. It's just that we are conditioned to listen to one in a particular way, that we associate with that. We say, oh, that is the Quran, that is Islamic verses, but this is Prabandham, which is Bhagavan, Narayana, all that. But you bring a third person, you actually get them to listen to both, you'll see there is a very, very gentle similarity between the two, the way the chants go. So perception, again, we carry a perception based on our condition. So what we need to recognize is my perception is not the perception, not the world. It is my world. So Drik Brahma. Now what will happen? Now the moment I know Drik Brahma, this is Brahma, this is Bhagavan, this is Ishvara, this is Narayana, this is sitting here, and that is what it is. Everything from outside of you all becomes the way this faculty perceives it. You are not discriminating anymore. This is why you will see Great masters don't discriminate. They may differentiate, but they will not discriminate. Differentiation is good because each one is different, but discriminating is a problem, right? Drig Brahma Drishyam Maya iti Sarva Vedanta Dindimah. All the Vedanta Upanishads and Brahma Sutras and Bhagavad Gita, all of that is talking about this. Aham Sakshi iti yo vidyat vivityaivam punah punaha. I am the witness. Aham Sakshi iti yah vidyat, the one who knows this truth. Vivityaivam, having separated this out, discriminated, analyzed. Vivityaivam punah punah. How do you do this? How do you discriminate? Come to this. Now, the word I'm using, discrimination, in a different way. It is intellectual discrimination. By your mind, you're trying to separate out that I am the Sakshi, I am the Drik. All of this is the observed. All of this is the world, including my inner space. I define myself as the inner self. Including all of that, I am away from this. The one who has understood this, Yaha Vidyat, Vivichyevam Punah Punaha. Vivichyevam means the one who separates this or clearly distinguishes this, analyzes this. Punah Punaha, repeatedly who does this. Because the only way to get to this understanding is by repeatedly doing this. Right? Just by saying it once, it doesn't. We are not in a place where we can grasp it immediately. There's a difference between a log of wood, a dry piece of wood, and a wet piece of wood. We have to dry up first, and a camphor. Right? We have to become from a wet piece of wood to dry and then camphor. Where tuck in some of these things, just by listening, we go into that. The brain, the mind, and the consciousness goes and settles into that. Which is why a lot of Vedanta gurus also tell that they want to listen to Vedanta Vichara. They want to listen to Upanishads. They want to listen to discourses. Because when you've ripened yourself, you've made yourself in such a way, made the soil so fertile, or Kalpura Mari, all that it takes is a little bit, and then the mind goes settles in. It takes a moment. That moment, it settles in. That moment, it settles in. Right? So, aham sakshi iti yo vidyat vivityaivam punah punah. By repeatedly doing this kind of a atma vichara, repeatedly I do this and I remind myself, aham sakshi, I am drik, I am Brahma, I am drik, I am this observer only. I repeatedly bring that to my focus and attention. Saha eva muktaha, saha vidwan. Iti Vedanta Dindima. So Vedantas are proclaiming that such a person is free. Such a person is the Vidwan. Vidwan means all knowing. The Vidwan means the one who is wise. Only such a person is a Vidwan. Not somebody who is studied the Vedanta Upanishads and I can write exams and I can make quotations. I can say Bhagavad Gita chapter 4 verse 3. Doesn't say such person doesn't recognize that person as a Vidwan. The person who is able to within him recognize this difference in space and know that I am here and all of this is out here, including my mind, including my. See, you use the mind as a faculty to do this exercise, but slowly you will come into a place where the mind is also becoming, you will also observe the mind, the activities of the mind, the emotions. The emotion is rising, falling, going, thinking, all of that it does. And then your feelings, then your senses, all of that is away from you, away from you, away from you. If we keep doing slowly, he says, such a person is free. Because see, as I said, if I've lived all my life in air condition, my body is used to air condition. So if I have to be in some, body is conditioned in a particular way. So if I condition my body to think this, I mean condition my mind, I'm essentially dehypnotizing. Like Swami Vivekananda says, the process of spiritual sadhana is dehypnotizing yourself. Right now, I believe myself is this. I want to dehypnotize myself to believe and tell myself, no, no, no. I am this independent Satchidananda Swarupa. And I continuously, Vivichyevam Punah Punah, I continuously repeat this to myself. He says, such a person becomes free. Free from what? Free from all the conditions. So, this is what we started off saying. When we started, we said we are driven by our conditions. We are responses. We don't respond, we react because we are conditioned. The one who is free will respond. Such a person will not react, he'll respond because he's not worried. He'll do what it is required. He'll do what is required. His actions will be dharmic because it will be aligned. He'll not be driven by fear. He'll not be driven by desires. He'll not be driven by aspirations and all that. He'll use them as a tool, but not be mastered by it. He'll be the master. When you become the master, when you are the owner of that, like we said, you take ownership. Take ownership of your emotions. Don't let it go around like that. Don't spread it out. When you sneeze, you spread out your prasada. Right? It's only going to cause harm to the other person. When you spread out your emotions like that, it's only going to cause harm to the other person or people around you. Don't be a master of it. Doesn't mean control. Be aware of it. And slowly, 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 slowly come to a place where it is not spilling out like this. Right? So we come to that place, then he says, Saha Muktaha, Saha Eva Muktaha. Such a person alone is free. Others are all bound, bound, bound. How much ever we study, how much ever we read, how much ever bhajans we do, puja we do, prayers we do, temples we go, yatras we do, if this we have not been able to create the separation inside, I am still bound. So he says, Saha eva muktaha, Saha vidvan, iti Vedanta dindimaha. So is Vedanta making such proclamation. Okay, so 17 and 18. Drigdrishyau dvau padarthau stah paraspara vilakshणौ Drigbrahma drishyam ayeti sarva Vedanta dindimaha. Drigdrishyau dvau padarthau stah paraspara vilakshणौ Drigbrahma drishyam ayeti sarva Vedanta dindimaha. अहम साक्षीति यो विद्यात् विविच्यैवं पुनः पुनः स एव मुक्तः सो विद्वान् इति वेदांत डिंडिमः अहम साक्षीति यो विद्यात् विविच्यैवं पुनः पुनः स एव मुक्तः सो विद्वान् इति वेदांत डिंडिमः ओम कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि सदाशिवायेति समर्पयामि जगदम्बिकेयेति समर्पयामि सद्गुरुनाथायेति समर्पयामि हरि ओम तत्सद्गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम